Have you ever thought what it takes to master Turn 1 here at Motorland Aragon? Welcome to Turn 1 Tips. I'm going to give you two scenarios. The first one coming straight from the grid. Here I am, stood in pole position. As you can see, Motorland Aragon is probably the shortest run into Turn 1. Then, later in the video, we're going to talk about the approach on a flying lap. Let's go. Depending on your starting position, Turn 1 is a bottleneck. That means everybody's funneling into that one apex, trying to make a very small piece of tarmac. So it is so important to get a good start. Once I release my clutch, I'm not really thinking too much about track position until I get closer to the apex. Reason being, here at Turn 1 in Aragon is a left corner, but that leads onto a right corner. It doesn't necessarily mean that the inside's always the best, because in the inside, if you make the inside good, it puts you on the outside for Turn 2. I want to make a whole shot here. Go, stop everybody up, and then I've got clear track. But if that doesn't work, I'm not scared to let the brake off, run around the outside a little bit, because I know that's going to put me on the inside for Turn 2. Turn 1 is such a strange corner on the first lap because the start line is literally right behind the brake point on a fastest lap. We're going to approach here at 275 kilometers an hour on a flying lap, but we're only going to reach 175 kilometers off the line. That means I'm going to approach second, possibly third gear, depending on my start. One tip I'm going to give you though, for Turn 1 here at Aragon, is the second gear corner. But because Turn 1 on the first lap of a race gets so messy, go back to first gear. The most important thing about Turn 1 is a brake point. So you have to find that reference point that we talked about. My reference point here, depending on the wind direction, is always the bridge, plus or minus 4 or 5 meters. If the wind's really in your head, you can go past that to 200, 220 meters. But if the wind's really in your back, brake at the bridge. So now we're deep into the braking area. I'm using, at maximum point of braking, 12 bars of pressure. That's almost equivalent to 175 PSI. Can you imagine through them brake lines? Thank God we got Hot Juan on the case there. That makes the bike want to stop all in the nose, which makes the rear of the bike so light and in the air. Now the trick for the electronic engineer is to balance that lock feeling of the rear in the air and in sliding to give you some throttle, open the butterflies, but not too much, because you don't want to get pushed into this corner, because it really is all about stopping at the apex and setting up Turn 2. Now you've successfully made it to Turn 1, but when I say stop, please stop. Turn 1 is a slow corner, 90 kilometers an hour, and we use 56 degrees of lean angle. It's important not to run too deep in Turn 1 because we're going to set up Turn 2, so stop right at the apex, and we don't want to use any more than 60% track on the exit, because what happens here at Turn 1, it takes you the whole way to Turn 3 and up to Turn 4, and that's all uphill. So don't mess up Turn 1, because it'll have consequences. Turn 2, we're in second gear at the apex, and it's all about building speed, all up through this uphill section, Turn 2, Turn 3, and to Turn 4. So when I get the bike upright, right here in the middle of the track, I really put a lot of gas, almost to 100% throttle trace. Then I select third, and then it's all about changing, flipping direction into Turn 2, building speed all the way. So a little recap on what we've just seen. If I can give you 3 takeaways, it's reference point. Number 1, find your reference point. Mine's the bridge, so find yours. Number 2, make sure and stop for T1. You want to go in there fast, but it's a slow corner, so stop and get your track position. Number 3, do not use too much track on the exit here at Turn 1, because we want to stop it here, get track position, and use all the speed of our bike the whole way to T4. So guys, that's it for turn 1 tips here in Motorland Aragon. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, because the more you like, share and comment, the more I get to bring you this cool content. And while you're at it, let us know what you want to see more of, and we'll try and bring it throughout the season.